This clip is about factorising difficult quadratics. By difficult, what I mean is that the coefficient of x squared is greater than 1. The first step is to get the coefficient of x squared and multiply it by the constant. So we've got 6 times 20, and that gives us 120. We want to find two numbers that multiply to make this. The two numbers have also got to add up to make minus 23, so I'm going to put that over here as well. So to make 120, I could have 1 times 120, but that definitely won't make minus 23. I could have 2 times 60, that won't work either. 3 times 40, that won't work. 4 times 30, that won't work. 5 times 24, that won't work, but you can see that we're getting closer. 6 times 20, that won't work. 8 times 15, that will work. I can get 23 from those two numbers if they're both negative. So now I'm going to split this minus 23x up into minus 8x and minus 15x. I've still got the plus 20 on the end, and I've still got the 6x squared at the start. Now I need to factorise these two terms and factorise these two terms. So looking here, I can see that I can take out a factor of 2x. That leaves me with 3x minus 4. Looking here, I can see that I can take out a factor of minus 5. And that leaves me with 3x minus 4. Notice that I get the same bracket here as I get here. This is actually the first bracket of my factorisation of this quadratic. So that's 3x minus 4. The second bracket contains this and this, so we've got 2x minus 5. So this quadratic factorised is this. So to review this step-by-step method, the first step is to multiply this and this together and put that here, and then to also put this number here as well. Now we're looking for two numbers that multiply to make 120 and add or subtract to make minus 23. The second step is to start listing my pairs of numbers. I always start with 1 and something and then work my way down, eliminating as I go until I find a pair that with any combination of adds and minuses will make this number here. Minus 8 and minus 15 will make minus 23. The third step is to split this up into those two numbers. What we've done here is rewritten this as something with 4 terms so that we can factorise these two and factorise these two, and we then get this line. The next thing to do is to check that this bracket actually matches this one here. That's a good step to tell you that you're in the right direction. Once you've got this, this is your first bracket of your fully factorised form, and then this part and this part go together to make the second bracket. Once you've done this, you've completed your factorisation. Once you've got your factorisation, you can check it by expanding these two brackets and you should get back to here. I'm now going to do this question with you to remind you of the steps. So we start with 8 times minus 3, and that's minus 24. I want to find two numbers that multiply to give this. I also want those two numbers to make minus 5. So I'm trying to make minus 24 by multiplying. I'm just going to focus on the 24 for now. So I could have 1 and 24, but that definitely won't give me minus 5. 2 and 12 won't give me minus 5 either. 3 and 8 could give me minus 5 if this was a plus 3 and this was a minus 8. Let me just check. Plus 3 times minus 8 does give me minus 24, so this is the pair I'm going to use. So I split this minus 5x into plus 3x and minus 8x. The minus 3 goes on the end and the 8x squared still goes at the front. Then I want to factorise these two terms and these two terms. Looking at this one, I can see that the only thing I can take out of these two terms is an x. So I take out the x and get 8x plus 3. Looking at this one, it's more difficult, but I can see that they're both minus, so I must be able to take out a factor of minus something. Because this is an 8 and a 3, and only 1 goes into both those numbers, the number I'm going to take out must be minus 1. I then get 8x, and I get a plus 3, because minus 1 times plus 3 makes minus 3. A nice way to check is that this matches this, and that always tells you that you're on the right track. So this is the first bracket that I'm going to write down for my factorisation, 8x plus 3. And the second bracket is x minus 1. This is the finished factorisation of this quadratic. Here's one for you to try now. Press pause and have a go at it. When you're ready, press play. Here's the answer. Here are some more questions for you to try. Press pause and have a go at them. When you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. Just out of interest, when you're dealing with large numbers like this, you can get a lot of these pairs for free. Once you've got 2 and 84, you can double the 2 and halve the 84. That gives you the line for 4. Once you've got 3 and 56, you can double the 3 and halve the 56 to give you the 6 and the 28. Similarly, once I'd got the 4 and the 42, I could get this line by doubling the 4 and halving the 42. We're now going to look at solving quadratic equations using a method of factorisation. So to start with, we factorise this in our usual way. Once I've factorised it, I then know that either this bracket is equal to 0 or this bracket is equal to 0, because when they're multiplied together, they equal 0. So I've got 7x minus 2 equals 0, or 3x plus 1 equals 0. I can now solve these two linear equations to find my two values of x. So adding 2 to both sides here gives me 7x equals 2, and then dividing by 7 gives me x equals 2/7. Here, subtracting 1 from both sides gives me 3x equals minus 1, and then dividing by 3 gives me x equals minus 1 over 3. These are my two values for x that are the solutions of this quadratic equation. Here's one of those for you to try now. Press pause and have a go. When you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. Here are some more questions for you to try now. Press pause and have a go at them. When you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers.